All right, Akim. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. That honors the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us his truth. Salutations to the sincere Akim and Aquat that may listen. May the blessing of election be upon your house. My name is Brother Raquai. I'm back in here with another quick lesson, and Lord's will, as always, an edifying lesson. And for today's lesson, I want to be discussing cleaving unto him. And this was a word I kept thinking about over the past couple of days. And what I'm going to do is go into the etymology, and I'll bring in a couple of precepts. And as always, hopefully this lesson may be comforting as well as edifying. Right? So let's just get the word cleave. Okay, so in the etymology, it says to adhere and to cling, to stick fast, adhere, to stick, cling, adhere, to stick, right? So essentially kind of clinging onto something, or in this case, in our case, someone, right? Because, in this world, for example, we cling unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai because he is that rock and he is that comfort, right? Because in pursuant to Isaiah chapter 60, verse 1, gross darkness has covered the earth, and essentially, as a matter of fact, let me get it. Salakia, I don't want to mess it up. Okay, Isaiah 60 verse 2, and it says, for behold, darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people, but the Lord Yahweh shall rise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. And one of the reasons I wanted to bring this out was the fact that we're living in a wilderness spiritually. All these different doctrines, on philosophies, so on and so forth, and that makes our people's minds destitute of understanding, destitute of wisdom, destitute of conduct, destitute of instruction, right? And the scriptures talk about how, to roughly paraphrase, to get wisdom and, goodness, remind me again, I don't want to butcher it. Proverbs 4 verse 5, and it says, get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. So it's very interesting. It says my mouth, not our own mouth, right? So it also says in the previous chapter, don't lean up on your own understanding, right? Forsake her not, that her being wisdom, Sophia, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall love thee. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all that getting, get understanding, right? And that's the principal thing, and that is something that that heals us. And that's really the point of this lesson, really and truly, is to go mostly into the point of getting wisdom from coming back to understanding of who we are, and so we can be properly cultivated, and be healed, right? Because pursuant to this scripture I'm going to get in Isaiah, we're a nation of people who are sick. Isaiah 1 verse 5, and it says, why should ye be stricken any more? Ye will revolt, more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart faint. For the sole of the foot, even unto the head, there is no soundness in it. And what brings soundness? The scriptures talk about wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, right? As a matter of fact, let's get that word soundness. Soundness. Oh, interesting. Here it says solidity, firmness. Sound, it says healthy. Oh, interesting. Healthy, not diseased, right? Sound, safe, having the organs and faculties complete in perfect action. Um, Healthy, strong. Let's see, it says healthy, strong. What else does it say? Right, correct, without logical flaw, financially solid and safe, undisturbed, unbroken. Oh, that's good, right? And that is what coming back and having getting this understanding is it does for us. It brings us to a firmness. It makes us shine. It makes us be healed essentially. It cleanses us. It's a cleaning agent, through the Yahweh, through the Son Yahweh Shai, that he is that physician that cleans us, and he brings healing upon us. Through thy precepts we get understanding, right? Let me read this verse again. It says, why should ye be stricken any more? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart faint. From the sole of the foot even unto the wounds, even unto the head, there is no soundness in this. But wounds, bruises, putrefying sores, they have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment, right? And one of the reasons I wanted to, bring this out, because our people cleave onto the wrong things. They don't cleave onto Yahweh Bashim Shai, through his, through our apostles and elders on down, always making these epistles, and always, I don't know, being on the highways and byways. Those are things that actually brings healing. It brings uprightness. It brings, it makes us shine again, because we've been destitute of understanding, and we've discontinued from our heritage pursuant to Jeremiah 17, right? So let me just prove that quick point. Okay, Jeremiah 2 verse 13, and it reads, for my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewn them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water. So, right, so our people, and these waters, these broken cisterns that they drink from can be applied to, what do you call it, like, these modern day philosophies that don't bring any healing and understanding, right? So people, so you have a bunch of Israelites in the world. They're just walking around, and they have all these sores, and they don't have any understanding. They have all these bruises on, in their minds, and it hasn't been bandaged. It hasn't been cleaned up. Like, for example, if you fall and you get like a scrape, on your knee or something like that, you go to somebody who bandages it for you. It has to be washed, it has to be cleaned. Then they might put some polysporin on it, and then they probably bandage it up, right? So you can actually essentially walk again, right? And that's something. So Jake is walking around today, and it's like they don't even have a sense of that they're even broken. And the worst thing is, they think money is something that's going to bind them up, right? And anyways, let's just move on. Bear with me on this. Okay, this is Ephesians 5 and 26, and it reads that he, might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word, right? And that is what is actually cleaning us and keep us, keep us holy. Essentially that means to keep us separate, right, and unspotted without blemish, right? We are in this flesh, yes, but we rehearse, the righteous acts pursuant to Judges chapter 5, right? And this is what really what keeps us, keeps us stable, keeps us strong during, especially in these times, right? And even in times to come, right? So this is why it's so important to like constantly be cleaving onto Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, during these times, right? Because that is what's going to give us, the strength to actually be able to, keep moving on forward, and then remembering. And that's another thing too. Like for me, I like going into the stories and remembering the ways of our forefathers and the things that they did and the ways that they conducted themselves, right? um, let's get Mark. Just bear with me on this. Okay. This is Mark 5, verse 20. I'll start at verse 21, but the point is lowered down. I'll start at 24, actually. So it says, Yahushua went. Hold on. Actually, I'll just start at 21. Just excuse me on this. It says, Yahushua got into a boat again and went into the other side of the lake, where a large crowd gathered around him on the shore. When the leader of the synagogue, whose name was Jairus, arrived, and when he saw Yahushua, he fell to his feet, pleading fervently with him. "My daughter is dying," he said. "Please come and lay your hands on her. Heal her so she can live." Yahushua went with him, and the people followed, crowding around him. The woman in the crowd had suffered for 12 years with constant bleeding, right? So she has an issue, and this is like a issue. She needed to be healed, right? Just kind of like all of us, when we, prior to coming into the understanding of knowing who we are, we were in a state where we needed healing, right? So verse 26, it says, "She had suffered a great deal from many doctors, and over the years she had spent everything she had to pay them, but she had gotten no better. In fact, she had gotten worse," right? So this is going into that, how do you call it? Like the precept I read earlier, into that, those broken cisterns, right? That our people like to actually invest in. She had heard about Yahushua as soon as she came behind him through the crowd and touched his robe. For she thought in herself, "If I can just touch his robe, I will be healed." Immediately the bleeding stopped, and she could feel in her body that she had been healed from her terrible condition. Yahushua realized that the healing power had gone out from him. So he turned around in the crowd and asked, "Who touched my robe?" Yahushua speaking. The disciples said to him, Look at this crowd pressing around you. How can you ask who touched me?" So so imagine you have a lot of people that were like, it was around him, and people were just like thrusting him back and forth, and so you're trying to figure out who essentially, how Shai is trying to figure out, like, okay, who did that, right? But he felt that power, right, leave his body. Verse 32, it says, "But he kept looking around to see who had done it. And then the frightened woman, trembling at the realization of what happened to her, came and fell on her knees in front of him and told him, what she had done. And he said to her, daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace. Your suffering is over, right? So, she just, she just had the mindset of, okay, I just need to touch his clothes. That's all she wanted to do. She believed in the power of Yahweh Shai, so much. She understood that, okay, all I have to do is touch this guy's robe, and she would be healed. And what happened? She was healed, right? And this is why I'm saying, cleaving unto Yahweh Shai during these times, right? So, we clean, we're kind of like, that woman that's, you just need to touch his robe, spiritually, and getting this understanding of, of who Yahweh Shai was, and actually having, getting these precepts and this wisdom and knowledge to try to, because that makes us stable, that heals us, right? That gives us comfort, especially when we're going through tribulation. And Paul says, we're persecuted, but we're not forsaken, right? So, this is what it's like to, touch Yahweh Shai's robe, by getting this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right? But a lot of our people don't see the value in it, because there's a precept, there's a chapter in John when Yahweh Shai was talking to, I believe it was the Jews, and Yahweh Shai said to them essentially, if you drink my blood and eat my flesh. And the Jews at the time, they took it so literally, so they didn't fully understand what Yahweh Shai was saying. So so a lot of people, you only have a very few amount of people in situations like this that would understand the value in cleaving unto Yahweh Shai during these times. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai during these times, right? Because that heals us, and that gives us strength, and that gives us hope, and that gives us the power to keep moving forward, right? Anyways, I just wanted to bring out that quick account, and I thought it was very, very interesting, because like a lot of us, we were in a state being destitute of understanding and wanting to be healed from our sores, whether we went through particular things in the world. Why doesn't why don't my parents get along, right? Why do people get shot up? Why do I lost my best friends? Why do my best friends' lives get taken? Why is there so much calamity on my block? Why is there no father in my life, and stuff like that? Like, all these different answered questions, and these are all encapsulated into these different bruises and sores that our people are suffering from, but they don't want to be healed, essentially, right? They don't want to touch Yahweh Shai's garment, right? So anyways, I just thought I would bring that up. But Lord's will, as always, this lesson was edifying. I just like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Makal Kadash. The honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth. Until next time, I say Shalom.